afternoon, everybody. Great to see so many people here today. In fact, it's a little surprising because if you're like me, almost everyone you know is on holidays in Europe or Bali, enjoying their time in the sun. Well, my shocking prediction today is that the sun is setting on international travel boom and prepare for a crash landing. After an intense period of revenge travel, it's clear that the leading indicators are rolling over. Looking at the US, which is a good guide for Australia, given they're about 6 months ahead in their reopening, we can see there was a strong recovery post-COVID, but sales are now starting to roll over. Sales with airlines in the June quarter declined quite sharply, and that's a similar trend we're seeing at online travel agents as well, with Expedia reporting a 7% decline in their gross bookings and Airbnb a 6% decline in what's meant to be the seasonal peak for travel in the Northern Hemisphere. Airfares are showing a similar trend here. We're now well below the 2022 peak, and airfares are on track to go below the 2019 level soon. But probably my favourite indicator that we're entering into a slowdown is the wait times at Disneyland. Prior to the pandemic in 2019, the average wait time was 37 minutes. This year, we're at 24 minutes, and that equates to a lot less crying kids. But admittedly, that might be a self-inflicted wound. Disney has raised prices very high. But we can see a similar trend at Europa Park, which is the second most popular theme park in Europe. And here, wait times are down between 16 and 19% from the post-COVID peak, and are now below the 2019 levels. So it's clear the revenge travel has been satiated and the cost of living pressures are starting to hit home. But what about China? They haven't recovered yet, which is true. But don't get too excited about China in the near term for a few reasons. Firstly, the Chinese economy is weak. Consumers aren't spending, they're worried about their incomes and declining property prices. Secondly, the travel preferences for the Chinese population is changing. There's now a preference for domestic travel, and staycations are a new phenomenon in China. And secondly, younger tourists no longer have the same interest in the group travel that their parents experienced. And finally, a key motivation for Chinese tourists was to spend money on luxury goods. And that motivation has been blunted as a lot of duty-free shops have been able to open at home, such as in Hainan Island, known as China's Hawaii. And bringing it back home, the excess in Australia has been extreme. You can see that new loans for travel and holidays is well above pre-COVID levels, and this comes with much higher interest rates, which is clearly not sustainable. International airfares are also well above the pre-COVID levels and are continuing to rise this year. So as the international travel enters a nosedive, it's Australian airlines that are going to be most impacted. We're going to see competition increase from increased capacity, the weight of public pressure, and once some IPOs are complete. We're also going to see huge capex bills to replace what is one of the oldest fleets globally. And this comes at a time when airfares are set to decline. So, ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts because airlines' earnings are entering a descent. But one type of company that can do well in this environment is SiteMinder. And SiteMinder is a software company that produces channel management software for hotels, which allows them to manage their inventory of rooms and prices across hundreds of booking sites globally. So the hotels use the software to maximize their revenue and also lower their costs. So the demand is somewhat counter-cyclical. When times get tough, demand for the software increases, as we saw in the GFC. And SiteMinder has quite a long runway in terms of penetration. There's still over 500,000 hotels that are using Excel spreadsheets to do this, and they've only converted 39,000. Their unit economics are very strong, and we believe they can improve as they roll out more products and features, and SiteMinder will turn cash flow break even over time. So with strong growth and improving profitability, it's a core long-term holding for our fund. Thank you.